Hello everyone, welcome to Building the Ultimate Matchbox Car Collection. My name's Tyrone, and look at this Corgi. It's a Corgi Major. Shall we compare with what Matchbox were doing at the time? See if this one measures up. Looks to be a much bigger scale than Super Kings, and that's what we'll compare it to today. What can I tell you about Corgi toys? They originated out of Swansea in Wales. You won't see Made in England on these because Wales isn't England. You'll see Made in Great Britain. They lasted for 27 years, good on them. Went to liquidation in 1984. What else can I tell you from my carefully scribbled notes? Mattel swallowed them up. Isn't that sad? 1984, they were in liquidation for a number of years. 1989, Mattel gobbled them up like the greedy monster company Mattel is. I think Lesney suffered the same fate, didn't they? After Universal and Tyco had a run with them. But happily, Corgi regained its independence in 1995 under the Corgi Classics Limited name. So, nowadays I believe they're owned by Hornby, which is better known for their model railways, and Meccano. Let's just take a look. Gee, you wouldn't want to be in business, would you? Not in this game anyway. Everybody gobbles up everyone else. There's a bunch of moving parts on this. The right is reserved to improve and amend specifications and colours. Made in Great Britain. See? 1975. The Met Toy Company Limited. I had a few Corgis when I was a kid, but always partial to Matchbox. I loved Majorette, dearly loved Majorette in the early 80s, and Hot Wheels, the whole kit and caboodle, the whole shebang. But yeah, always partial to Matchbox. But when a Corgi came along, it's not like we were xenophobic. It's not like we poo-pooed it. Corgi was just another one of the gang. But I never had Corgi Major. If we were gunning for the big guys, it was always Super Kings out of Matchbox. And we'll get to that in a second. But the glory today is all for Corgi Major. Now this seems to be a much larger scale than Super Kings, but we'll take it on its merits, shall we? It's really heavy, really solid. Attention to detail, so well made. Is that why they went out of business? Probably. They cared too much. The Eso Tank petrol tank on this is plastic, but so is it on Super Kings. You just press that lever in to close it down again. 1975. It's a big Ford truck. They call this style the cab over, meaning cab over engine. As we try and clear some debris from the working space. I think I had a Matchbox in Eso. I certainly had plenty of others. But that is a fantastically well made cab. Bit of polystyrene debris on those tyres. It has no suspension, but really heavy duty. Shall I dare try and get this off? The amateur that I am. There's probably a really easy way to do that, but is it that? Surely not. Surely not. No. You can tell I'm not used to corgis. No. That looks like a lever, doesn't it? I think that's... Oh, there you go. Look at that. So, okay. You're probably thinking, geez, come on, amateur. Let's look at the let's look at the cab over individually. Separate steering wheel and gear shift. Oh, look. The gear shift is actually, try and get you in focus. It's a bad trip to the optometrist. The gear shift is actually the lever you use to unprop the cab over. That's really well done. It's clever, really clever. Red plastic interior, but really well defined interior. 3 seats, you've got dashboard instruments and a separate piece for the steering wheel. Wouldn't you be thrilled as a kid in 1975 or 1976 to find this under the tree on Christmas morning? Because only rich kids got things like this willy-nilly, didn't they? It was a Christmas morning thing, maybe a birthday. And as I was getting older anyway, Easter was a time for giving things other than chocolate. But that was very random. I suppose that was more because my siblings were out working. I was the youngest of 6, was the youngest of 6, now less. And I suppose it was the older part of my childhood that I'd get random gifts for Easter because siblings were out at work. But mid-70s, late 70s, yeah, Christmas was it. That's why there was so much expectation and excitement around Christmas morning, because usually that was the only time of the year you'd get something as big as that. But yeah, where are we? What shall I bring to compare? Because I did label this. Oh, I know what I'll bring. Where did I put that? I lost my favourite toy. Look at that. Only fair that we compare it with a Super Kings. Now this is something I did get on Christmas morning. Not this actual one, because I've since replaced it from my lost childhood. But let's have a look at this. Should we have a decent look at the box first to compare properly? Matchbox Super Kings in all its glory. They always teased you, didn't they, with stuff you were yet to find. 1981, so a little bit after the Corgi's major. But yeah, they were of the same realm, of the same sort of, I won't say family of companies, because they were competitors. I've showed this one before on building the ultimate Matchbox car collection, so we won't dwell on it too much. But I'm always going to be severely biased towards this fella. And yes, they are completely out of scale. I think they're much of a muchness. There's a lot of weight to them. Huge amount of metal went into these. There's sort of plastic bits on chunky metal things. It's kind of the opposite now, with a few bits of metal tacked onto 80% plastic. And of course you've got the mini hydraulics here going on. So crazy to think that they built those and sold them en masse. Yeah, I think they're on a par. Kudos to Corgi, in this case Corgi Major. Well done. I wish they stayed in business. Would they have gone plastic like everybody else? I suppose there would have been no choice. There was no choice. Mattel came along and showed them how it was done. Everything plastic except the upper body of some castings, most castings, but everything else plastic, and did them all out of business. So sad. Well, there you have it. Corgi Major versus Super Kings from Matchbox. Tell me what you think in the comments below. What did you grow up with? Was it Matchbox? Was it Corgi? Was it both? Was it everything on sale? Hot Wheels, Majorette, etc. What was the other brand? Lido. Lido was done by the third partner of Matchbox, or the third partner of Lesney. I forget his name, but it's an anagram of Lido. He did well for a little bit and went the way of the dinosaur as well. It's a shame. Anyway, these are nice to have, nice to find from many, many years ago in such good condition. Like, share, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.